there's something to be said about bringing a local individual to a local team, especially like the Mooseheads. Getting to play, I think I had 8 games there. Having a local guy on that team, there was a little bit more push for the guy. There was a little bit more support for the guy. There was a little bit more, okay, how's he doing? But in terms of a coach, Jim Midgley is as Halifax as it gets when it comes to coaching the beautiful game of hockey.
He coached you when you were...
No, he never coached. Maybe like spring league,
right,
summer
okay.
league.
Right.
But if I go to a hockey rink and I look right, and I go to a hockey rink and I look left, I guarantee I can find someone that's been coached by Jim Midgley. I had coffee with a friend this morning. We brought up Midge randomly, even before I knew this Moosehead thing. And he is ingrained in the hockey culture in Halifax. And coming off 2 years in the New York Rangers organization off a bench, I'm not saying that he didn't have experience before, but you better believe it right now that he is some of the most high-level coaching experience there is in Atlantic Canada. I don't know who else. You know, there's some coaches that are coaching professional hockey in other parts of the world, but coming off a bench in New York where the hockey, I don't want to say pressure, but the spotlight is on the New York Rangers, and there's pressure on you. Definitely not as much as the Mooseheads. But coming back to this market, being Jim Midgley and having those 2 years of the New York Rangers under your belt is going to give you confidence. And it's going to put more eyeballs as well on the Halifax Mooseheads. And I don't think there's a better role out there right now. Well, based on what Tyler Peddle said on that podcast, he said the Mooseheads are going to be doing well this year. I don't know too much about the Q, and so I asked Tyler, and I was like, how are the Mooseheads going to be this year? And he goes, yeah, they're same as this year. They're going to be a contender for sure. So knowing that and knowing what Jim's going into can only be exciting for him and his family, and most importantly, the fans. As selfish as that is, it's about the fans. It's about the people that bring the money, that buy the beer, that buy the jerseys, get the face paint like you. You know, it's all about us. But what we like as consumers, we like to judge. We like to talk. We come on this podcast. We give our opinion. That's what kind of creates society. We like to share our opinion, and we like to gossip, and we like to, share what we like to think. And it just makes it a little bit more exciting knowing that when you're bringing up these conversations, a local guy is in play. Jim Midgley is the head coach of the Halifax Moosehead, a guy that knows how to win, a guy that has been around hockey in Atlantic Canada for years now. And now he gets he's the leading man now. It's very cool to see, and friend of the show as well. I think he's been on twice. And Jim just had nothing but time, and it was one of those episodes when after the podcast was over, he stuck around for an hour. He's one of that's how you can tell, like, when the podcasts are done, if a guy sticks around for a bit and just shoots the shit. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a good guy. That's how you know.
I think he was my first podcast.
Was he?
I'm almost positive. I'm like 85% sure. Yeah, in that old Blue studio. I think he was the first one I produced for. And I remember he was going to New York and taking on that new gig, and like we talked to him before, and like you said, afterwards he stayed around, and I was like, wow, this is pretty sick. Yeah. And here we are, 150 episodes later or whatever, 2 years later. Yeah. And he's the head coach of the Mooseheads. It's cool.
For sure. Yeah. Cares about his players. That's all you want. You want a guy that cares about his players and holds them responsible for their actions. And I think with that method coming into junior hockey from the NHL is going to create a different environment for that dressing room, knowing that there's a guy leading the charge that he's fresh off Broadway, fresh off MSG. You're not going to listen to that guy? You kidding me? He's just around the best. He was coaching Patrick Kane 3 months ago. Like, you're telling me you're not going to listen to that guy? I don't know. I just think it creates an exciting timeline right now moving forward into, when does the season start? October,
yeah.
It just creates a really exciting storyline for hockey in Halifax.
Yes.
It's very, 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 it's a great hire. It's a great hire. At the end of the day, it's a great hire. It's a great fit, and it's good for hockey, and it's good for Halifax.